First, let's pay homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, to Master Sakya Zeng Kong, the Shung Rinpoche, to His Eminence the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and Master Thubten Dorje. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa, Guru Gule, Buddha Mother. Simu, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, temple directors, disciples present here and over the internet, and our participating VIPs today from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Taiwan, Secretary General Daniel Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy, Accountant to the True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa, and her husband, Larry, Dr. Ryan Zhuang, and assistant to the former Vice President Li Xiulian, and the PR Director of International Business Women Association's chapter, Dharma Sister Chue Huiling, a dancer from the Sunny Line Dance Group of Taiwan, Dharma Sister Ling Yishen, from Tian Ya Yue Choir Group, Dharma Brother Ge Mingde and Dharma Sister Lin Yizhan, and a former director to the Overseas Credit Warranties Fund's wife, Dharma Sister Vivian, and Dr. Gao, Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? Next August 23rd, Sunday, August 23rd, is Guru Padmasambhava's Homa. And in the first who transmitted Tantrayana, Tantric Buddhism, into Tibet was the great Bodhisattva Guru Padmasambhava. And that was at the time of King Trizong Techin. And he invited Santaraksita to come to Tibet to propagate Buddha Dharma. And at that time, the local religion was not in agreement with Buddhism, so they opposed Buddhism, and because Santaraksita could not resolve that, he recommended King Trizong Techin to invite Guru Padmasambhava from India to Tibet to win over the Tibetan local tradition there, which was also called the Bonpo tradition or religion. So when Guru Padmasambhava entered into Tibet, we could say that he was the first pioneer propagating the Tantric Buddhism. He was a great Bodhisattva. And Guru Padmasambhava was born from a lotus. That's why he's called the lotus born, and he is a Padma Kumara or lotus youth. So we could say that he is, that would be the Homa of the Tantric Buddhism lineage guru. So hope that you would support and create affinity with him. And Atisha was also the one who entered into Tibet. And Atisha was also a lotus youth of Padma Kumara. And next Sunday we would have the Homa of Padma Sambhava. And I hope that I welcome you become the primary supplicants. And today we perform Homa of Gurukule Buddha Mother. And like what I said during the marriage dedication, Gurukule Buddha Mother had 4 great vows. One is the vow of the earth, the vow of the land,
very happy. Western, very happy. Buddha country, Buddha name, 就是西方极乐世界。
Very happy Western Buddha land.
所谓的地
So the land.
英文就是 name。那这个他发了地的愿望是
land
给众生的
or
资
the
粮
earth.
具足。你们来
So
参
the
加
vow
这个
of the earth is to bestow
他会赐福给大
enough
家
to bestow
资粮
resources
具足。资粮呢，
so that we have sufficient resources in our life.
为什么
Bestow
用地来
fortunes
做
to
资粮？
everybody, like during
自己
empowerment
可
later.
以用脑筋想一想，
So why do we use
所有的
the
金
earth
银财宝、
as
房
resources?
子、
So think about
土
it.
地，
All the
全部都是
gold,
地。
silver, all the metals,
所以你拥有的地，
houses, cars, they
资
all
粮就是
come
地。
from the earth.
然后我们现在
So
也是一样
by
你是
embodying or having the earth,
很多土地都属于
then
你，
you would have enough
很有钱的啦。
resources. Like if you are landowners or landlords, you would owe a lot of lands, then you would be rich.
大地，这个
So
用
the
地
great
来做实
earth
验，
is
给大家
the
资粮记住。
the wealth,
黄金、白银、
the primary
金银
for
所有的
wealth.
财宝，珍
So
珠、
we
玛
use the
瑙、
symbol
稀
of
宝
the
都
earth
是
to
地产
bestow
生出来的，
fortunes
包
or
括
resources
钻石
upon
都是
everybody.
地
So
从地里
gold,
面出来的。
silver, and all kinds of metals, including
那
diamonds,
所有的
jewels,
金矿、
precious
银矿
gems, all
跟
come
所
from
有的
the
植
earth.
物、所有的
All
森
the
林、
plants,
木头，
all
一
the
切全部
forests,
都
the
是大地给
woods, all were bestowed
你
by
拥
the
有
earth.
地就拥有资粮，所以它
So
咕噜
by
咕噜
having
佛
the
母用
earth,
地的实
then
验
you would
赐给
have
众生
your
资粮记
resources. So that's why Guru
第
Guli
二个
used the vow of the earth to bestow fortunes and
水
resources
是做
upon
什么
everyone.
用的？
The second
它
vow
是
was
给众
water.
生息灾跟消业障。
And what is the function of water
This is
is to
Guru Guru
eradicate
Guru Guru
calamities and to purify
它用
karma.
水给大
That's
家
Guru
做
Guli's
息灾
second vow.
因为
She
水可以
uses
洗净
water
一
to
切，
purify because water can cleanse everything
那么消除所有的业障，所有的黑
and
业
can
用水
er-
把它
eradicate all the black
变成
karma,
清净，
all the negative
全部
karma.
都是水。
Then you would be cleansed and
Okay.
purified. Everything is
那个病，
due to this is due to
你要
water.
喝
And your
吃药
sicknesses, you need to take
那
medicines.
也是水，
That's
这个
also
水啊
water.
本身来讲，它可以治病，
So
水也
water
能够治病。
can alleviate
像我们的
illnesses,
大悲咒水啊，
like the Great
啊每一次
Compassion
有
water.
有人感冒
If someone catches cold, then you ask them to drink more water, or always tell you to drink more water, because water can cure, can heal illnesses. And it can eradicate all kinds of karmic sicknesses, eradicate negative karma, and eradicate calamities. That's the second vow. The third vow is the vow of the fire. You use the fire for magnetization, for love, respect, imperfection. Everyone is wearing red today. It's like the color of the brides in China, in ancient China. We all wear red. So as I walk by, I see all red. So red is so that we have perfect harmony, love and respect, admiration, like for leadership, or famous artists or entertainers. They need to practice this great harmony practice because they need to be adored or advocated by a huge number of people. This means there's huge pressure. I didn't touch it. How come it touched me? It was blown by the wind. In a moment, I'll talk about the wind. So she uses fire, the power of igniting fire for perfect love and respect in the major scale, medium scale, or minor scale. Like even your boss would like you and would give you lots of benefits and raise. And the minor magnetization, or that's your romantic love. It's like the fire in winter. If this fire is ignited, then it's incredible. It's like the thunders connect with the fire of the earth. So, in a flash, Lien Yin would be most experienced in this. And the fire of desire burned you. That's romantic love. So with small magnetization, that we have a perfect romantic love. So please don't push me. What happened? Is it okay if you don't move? How did you tie this? There's no ties. So if I lean on it, I would I would fall into the fire. Is this called the Dharma throne of a Dharma king? At least you should glue it with your mucus, right? This chair does not allow me to fold my legs. If it does allow me, then I would fold my legs. Then I would lean backward. Then I would be burned in the fire. This one, I can only do this. pushing up using my arms. I cannot do the rest. So she uses fire is for the major, medium, and minor harmony and love and respect, so that we would have perfect love, respect, and harmony in all respects. And the fourth is the vow of the wind. You know, her face is smiling, but with a wrath. So she has the power of subjugation. Wind represents the power of subjugation, to subdue all kinds of demons, maras, and enemies, and enmities, or ill feelings. So she's smiling, but also wrathful at the same time. And smiling. It's hard to describe this. So you need to smile and be angry at the same time, and wrathful at the same time. I cannot do that. Crying is like this. Happy is like this. Angry is like this. Sad. Happy. Joy. So we have all these expressions for these different emotions, but smiling in wrath, this is hard. I often explain the smile of Mona Lisa. She was smiling. Observing her, she looked like a lady standing at the door waiting for her husband to come back, to come home. And it was really dark outside. Be careful. That was the smile of Mona Lisa. So she has 4 vows, and I hope that everybody would gain through her 4 vows, and after you receive the empowerment, everything would be perfect. Gurukule Buddha Mother is the same as Ragaraja. They are both magnetizing deities. They primarily wear red, and Grandmaster today is wearing red and also orange. I want to be slightly different from everyone. I want to be more perfect, because everybody's red. But I want to be red and orange. What do you call this? Scarlet. Orange is also called the auspicious fruit, like Mahamayuri, where auspicious fruit and also the wish-fulfilling fruit, which is red. So I want love and I also want bread. Which one is more important, love or bread? Love or money? Yesterday I said both are important. Actually, none of them are important. The most important thing is health. So health is the most important. And next, what would be most important? Freedom. Freedom is the most important. When you're healthy, if you have no freedom, there's no use. You need to be free. And further, what is most important after freedom? Money is bread, love and money. Which one is more important? But I think health is the most important. Without health, you have no love. Then you can eat no drink, no more bread. So those are not important. Health is the most important. And then freedom is the most important. And then one more thing is more important. Spiritual cultivation is even more important. That's for comparison. Now let's continue on the Great Perfection Dharma of Tantrayana. Now I want to talk about the Ren Yun. Ren Yun in Chinese. The Tibetan word is toku. And you can also say Ren Yin is freedom. Very close. But the overall meaning of Ren Yun is more broad, more encompassing. Confucius said, at 60, all you hear goes according to your wishes. In the ancient time, that's the case. But nowadays, at 60s, you still hear all different things, all the true and false words or sayings. In the past, when you reach 60, everything, you only hear good stuff. My dad was called Lu Sun. Sun meaning fulfilling your wish through the hearing. So his dad is called Lu Chang, and he was born by the third wife. So Lu Chang, my granddad, Lu Sun, my father, and I'm Lu Shengyan. So I need to introduce my lineage. So he was born when his father was 60, and he was given birth by his dad's third wife. So he had 6 wives and then 6 mistresses outside, so altogether 12. So as a descendant, I truly admire my grandfather. But Grandmaster, after marrying Simu in my youth, frankly speaking, one is really enough. One can succumb 12. Simu is really capable. So she's the same as 12. So Ren Yun, I'll just translate it into freedom. Or like what Confucius said, that at 60s, all you hear goes according to your wishes. And at 70s, you can do everything at will. So that's Ren Yun. Ren Yun is you just do everything as you pleases. So when you're free, that's Ren Yun, that I can do whatever I wish. That's called Ren Yun. So it is generated from tractual. When you reach the empty nature, then you embody the boundlessness, and then you can manifest anything, and that's Ren Yun, that's freedom. Last night, I spoke with everybody that Care Master is Care Master can sing not just children's songs, but any songs. Grandmaster can dance and can dance any kinds of dance, from tango to jive, waltz, cha-cha, blues, blues to tango, all these dances, I know how to dance them. And I love to listen to the rhythms of these dance songs. The rhythm of tango. That's tango's rhythm. That's Chiruba jive. That's rumba. That's cha-chas. For waltz, right? And blues. So, listening to the song, I know which dance. So, Grandmaster was in the field. I salvage or I save a monk that's in Taiwan. That's from the dance club. He was he played clarinet in the dance clubs before, and I knew him when I was still dancing in the dance clubs. So now he's an ordained monk. If you don't believe it, you can ask him. Because when Grandmaster danced with the dance companion, I would maintain a distance of 1 foot. And I always dance with the lights on. When they turn down the lights to become really dark, then I didn't dance. So I was just for dancing. So I didn't dance in the dim light. You know, the dances when the lights were dim were like you are like the lizards touching the wall. So there are 3 touches, which is face touching the face, chest touching chest, and then another part. But I didn't do that. I was a gentleman. So the clarinet watching me was really touched, and he regarded me as a gentleman. So finally, he followed me in my spiritual cultivation, and now he became a monk. So when you do according to your wishes, Grandmaster, everything is fine. I can dance, I can ride a horse, I can sing.
香港、香港这个50年，你马照跑，舞照跳，50年不变啊，是香港。
It's like Hong Kong, that 50 years will not change, continue. Like after 1997, for 50 years, the government was promised that Hong Kong will not change. And Grandmaster too should be like that. That for Grandmaster, even as a Buddhist, I can sing and dance because that's how I am. However, for the sake of all the renunciates, the ordained monks, nuns, and the disciples, I cannot dance anymore. I cannot sing love songs anymore. Because all these renunciates would think that, oh, Grandmaster sing these love songs. So all the chief heads, the monks and nuns, also climb on the altar and sing love songs and would say, Ai Siteru Sarangeo, I love you. All love songs. So that should not happen. So that's why Grandmaster doesn't sing anymore. And the same thing with dancing. How can I dance wearing this Lama skirt, Lama outfit? So this way I cannot be Ren Yun. I cannot do as I wish, but Grandmaster's heart can be Ren Yun because Grandmaster has reached the state of Trekcho, has attained the empty nature, and then Grandmaster can do anything. The problem is because they cannot. So because of that, Grandmaster restrict himself and not do as he pleases. Doesn't dance, doesn't sing. Like Qinghai Wu Sangsi, she was ordained as a nun, but she had her hair grow and she tailored her own garments, outfits, and wear all kinds of celestial garments and with all kinds of jewelries and ornaments. And she's allowed to get married. Although she was divorced before she became a nun, and she could appear like that if she had reached the state of Trekcho and she could Ren Yun, then Qinghai Wu Sangsi that way was okay, not violating the precepts. So whatever Grandmaster does not violate the precepts. But the novice spiritual cultivators or the ordained monks, nuns, and masters cannot do everything as they pleases because you have not attained the fruition of Trekcho. So if you do those, then you would violate the precepts. That's the difference. So if you have reached a state that you're allowed to do as you pleases, then you're not considered to violate the precepts. So Qinghai Wu Sangsi, if she has reached the state where she can do as she pleases, then she does not violate the precepts. If she has not reached the state of Trekcho, then she is violating the precepts. So things that Grandmaster can do should not be followed by the renunciates. But if all the masters, all the monks and nuns follow me, then True Buddha School would become, might as well call them like a paired hero and heroine. Because when you go out when you go out into the world, there's always a man and a woman. So that's breaching the precepts. So gauge your own state of spiritual attainments. So you may not know that Grandmaster performed the practices of Qi, light drums, inner fire. So you ignite the inner fire, you drip, melt the light drops, and then to ignite the radiance, to illuminate the radiance, and confirm the empty nature. And only this would be called Ren Yun. Ren Yun. So, like written in the internet, oh, Grandmaster is like that in Tantayana, that he does that. Oh no, then everybody laugh. So that's because they do not understand what Ren Yun is, Ren Yun or Toko of Dzogchen or great perfection. So when you can do as you pleases, then that would be called Toko, T-O-G-A-L. The dragon came down, and the turtle. This is also Chinese words.
这个乌龟想要做官呢，乾隆就好大笑。好啊，哪一天马不拉车啊，夜不点烛火的时候啊，就让你们全部当官。这个乌龟们啊，于是叩谢而去。乾隆就笑了，这帮蠢王八，马什么时候可以不拉车啊？ 夜如何能够不点着啊？这个臣子都称为乾隆皇帝非常的圣明。转眼300年过，汽车取代了马车，电灯取代了蜡烛，于是果然金无戏言呐。现在当官了。 果真的都是一群乌龟王八蛋。
This word's so meaningful only in Chinese.
好了，这个不是骂做官的。不过现在做官的真的。
That's scorning the politicians, the officials. But really, lots of those officials, like the they are really like bastards, you know, which is in Chinese is like the eggs of a turtle. So people with small nose, they want to be elected as president. And then those who have lost memory and has dried up, they still want to be elected president. So in today's world, the political arena is filled with bastards and cuckolds and sons of bitches. So we must as well be a hermit and go deep into the mountain. The wife asked the husband, you know, for your birthday, what would you like to have? And he said, well, just don't scorn me so much. And the wife replied, no way, that's too priceless to give. So after marriage, it is more difficult to be Ren Yun, to be free. The freest is
你
empty
能够
nature.
自由自在的任运，
If you
就是
can
佛法最高的机
go as
佛
you
法最高的
pleases
机
anywhere
随心
with
所欲，
mastery,
你能够
spontaneously
你的想
at
什么
will,
会出现。
and then
想
that's
什
the
么就有
highest
什么。
state of Buddhism.
师尊现在
And
也
you
是这个
get
样子，
whatever you wish for.
你想什么就有什么，
So Grandmaster is like this now. You get what
差不多
you
了呀。
want.
说吃的食，
Like in food,
我只要想到要吃什么，
if I want to eat something,
图书馆那个餐馆他就开始煮什么出来。
that the cafeteria at the library would prepare that for me.
衣，你
In
高兴
my
穿哪一个颜
clothings,
色，你就穿吧。
So you just wear
哪一
whatever
个
color
衣
you
服你就
like,
穿吧，反正
whatever
一大
dress
堆
you
的衣
like.
服我穿不完。
I
现在
have
我的衣
lots
服
of them.
龙袍已经一仓库了，
My
一
dragon
整个仓
vest
库，
is
就没
like
有义卖，
storage
把
full,
它存起来啊。
and there are
穿
no
过的这龙
auctions.
袍啊，可以建一栋房
The
子来
dragon
放，
vest
建一栋房子
that
来
I have worn, I would need a house to put it in.
哦，住的都还不错，
And my residences
都也不
are
错
not bad. That's pretty
比
good,
别人都好的。
better than
行的。
others.
你看，
And my
我想什么车什么车就
transportations,
来。
whatever kind of
我
car
想
I
说我要
want,
买这
then
个
it
我这个
comes.
Bentley 哦，开的实在是腻了。
I was sick of
第
driving
二级
Bentleys.
车哎，劳斯莱斯的 brother 哎，
Bentley is the
你还
second
不满
class
足吗？
car,
很
the
难满
brother
足
of
但是已经开
Rolls-Royce.
了
Aren't you
从
content?
1999年开到现在，
Of course, but I've
太
driven
久
it
了，开腻了。
since 1999.
我要
Too
换一部
long.
车，我就跟
I was tired of it. So I
跟
wanted
韩
to
宁晚讲说我
change,
要换一部车。
to get a new car. And I told Hanifa, and what kind of car would you want? And I said, Maserati.
对，意大利的马
Italian me. Italian language is like that.
意大利的那个舌头不是要有点尖吧？
They would, they would twirl the R.
他就好，
So Hanifa said,
就在后
okay,
面讲，下一步
okay, I'll
该
buy
我
it.
了
And then Lin Yin said the next car
才
would
开
be
始开玛莎拉蒂
my
你谈
offering.
下一步干什么？
I just
对
started
不
to
对
drive
等我开腻
Maserati,
了才跟你讲我要第三
and
步。
then you already talk about the next car. But wait until I'm tired of
我要
this.
车，人家就送给师父。
So when I want a car, someone would offer a car to Grandmaster.
食衣住行，
So
看
food,
都随心
clothing,
所欲的嘛。
houses, and transports, cars.
会的
I get what I
有一
wish
天
for.
你修正了，修行
One
够了，
day,
你真
when
的
you
可以
have CD, when you have attainment,
就是这
then
个
you
就是自
can
由
be Renyun. Then there would be freedom.
算命师讲，我有一个坏消息跟一个好消息。
A fortune teller said, I have a good news and a
这
bad
个男
news.
的讲，说来听
And
听。
the man said,
算
okay,
命师
tell
讲
me.
坏消息，
And the
是
fortune
你
teller
一
said,
辈子都
the
无
bad
法
news
摆
is
脱老婆的控制。
you will not be able to get away from your
男
wife's
子问
control.
那好消息呢？
And then the
算命
man
讲
asked, how about the good news?
你的命不会很长，这是好消息，
But you will not live very long. That's the good news.
也就是被控制的不是很久。
Because you will not be controlled for much longer.
如果被命运控制了，
If you're controlled by
就
your
不
fate,
算是随心所欲
then that's not
啊，被你的生命控制
being at
也不
will.
算随心所欲。
If you are being
那
controlled
被
by your
这个
life,
在家庭里面被
that's
控制
also
也不
not
算
being
随
at
心所欲
will. And if you're being controlled in
所以
your
房子
family,
外面呢
that's
另
also
外
not
有一
being
片
at
天
will.
空
So outside your
属于你自己。
house, you have
自由自
space
在。
that belongs only to you. Time
这个才叫做
totally
随心所欲。
free
哦，师母是不是
that
啊？
you can do as you pleases, right,
在
Sumo?
房子外面呢，
As you
另外有一
please.
片天空，自
That
由
outside the
你自己
house
可以
you
随心
have
所欲
a piece of sky or space where you can be at your own will and do as you please. Because Grandmaster is not an ordinary human being, and Grandmaster can truly be at will and do as he pleases. And Simu knows too that Grandmaster can do as he pleases with mastery. I often told Simu, why don't you ask your good friend to come home and help at our house? That she's your good friend, right? Because Simu works too hard, but Simu always disapprove. No way, I cannot harm my friend. What do you mean? How come harming your friend? And Simu said, I know your habits. Yeah. It's okay. I have some space at home. I have some space outside the home. At home, I do as I please. And outside the home, I also do as I please. And that would be called Ren Yun. But with great masteries. You do as you please with great mastery. The taxi driver asked the passenger, where are you going at the end of the life? And the driver couldn't understand the ask again. So how come you're so stupid? That means the funeral home. Well, I'm glad that you go to the end of life. I'm glad, if you ask me to go to the beginning of your life, then I would have to drive to your mom. So life has a beginning and the end. So that is not going as you pleases with mastery. So the Dharma that Grandmaster practices days is long gazing rejuvenation practice. So my sight can see through the infinite realms, and my life can be extended infinitely. Every time I perform this practice, this would come. The pressure would come. Why are you pressuring me? It's not the Golden Mother who pressed on me. Don't mistake it. Every time I perform this practice, there would be obstructions. He or she, they don't let me perform this practice. And this obstruction comes from love. But I cannot say too much. Otherwise, she would get angry and she would obstruct me again. Actually, she obstructs me for my own good. Be natural. Don't have such a desire and always do as you pleases, that you want to be 90s or 100s or 200s, and you perform this practice until you live to be 200, and she's in a different realm waiting impatiently, so she has to obstruct. So you need to be natural when you do as you pleases. You don't want to strive or struggle for it. It's the same as this joke. The woman told the man, "Are you willing to be my son?" And the man, hearing that, was really pleased and said, "Yes." And the woman said, "Then please maintain 149,597,000 kilometers distance. So please maintain a distance of this 149,597,000. So 149,559,780 kilometers distance, because that's the distance of the sun to the earth. So when you are being inhibited by a woman, that's not doing as you pleases. So the person who is doing as he pleases is like this. So what is a flammable item? And the student said, "My dad." Why? Because every time I show him my report card, he would get on fire. That means he doesn't have the mastery in doing what he pleases. In doing what he pleases, you need to have mastery. So for us, we just counter with whatever. So whatever comes, then we just take it and handle it appropriately. That would be called doing as one pleases. It's the same thing in interacting with people or with things. So jokes are not about doing as one pleases with mastery. Hua complained to the doctor, "Every day my husband would lose his temper for no reasons at all, and I'm scared." And the doctor said, "Before he gets angry, why don't you take a glass of water and then drink it, but don't swallow it, leave it in your mouth, and then wait until your husband gets to sleep." And then a week later, she returned to the doctor and said, "Oh, that's a good idea. Every time when my husband was about to get angry, I would drink a mouthful of water and he would calm down." How come the glass of water is so useful? And the doctor said, "It's not the water. It's just to let you shut your mouth." So let me teach you a method. And this is my method. In this house, when the other person is getting angry, you don't need to take a drink, but just turn around and then get into your room and close the door tightly and only come out later. That's a good way. But do you have doors and knobs at home? As soon as the other person starts, then you distance yourself. And if he or she approaches you, then you distance yourself. So it becomes hide and seek at the home. Once you let the time pass, then the heat will cool down, because anger needs a recipient that, because the more it hits something, the more it rages. So when it hits on nothing, then it would come down by itself. So as a spiritual cultivator, we need to be patient, we need to endure, we need to practice this endurance perfection. All your speech, your conduct, your behavior can be as you pleases with mastery, but you need to use the best methods to face them, to handle them, to counter them. And that would be called Ren Yun.